Work to get yourself back, get yourself strong, make yourself feel good. I've been there. My company was doing phenomenal. I was making tons and tons of money. I was living life really good. I was enjoying life. It couldn't have got better financially. It was just growing and growing and growing. And I felt invincible. But I will say, as I grew, I always gave thanks to God. I always said, thank you, God, because I know it's the strength and the mindset you give me that helps me to grow. But like a lot of people, out of the blue, after many years of doing relatively well, wasn't a multimillionaire, but I was living very comfortable. But out of nowhere, bam, I lost it. Couldn't even believe it. I was totally shocked that I was up here and bam, I got slammed down. I lost my biggest account, an account that I nurtured and I cared for, and I made sure I crossed every T and dotted every I, just to constantly have that account and just grow with that account and grow and grow and grow. And for 15 years, I grew and grew and grew. And bam, it was taken away from me. And I fell right to the ground. Fell right to the ground. It was like Joe Frazier knocked me out. If anyone knows who that is, showing my age. But it was a fighter back in the day that was, if you connected, you went down. But anyway, I was down, and I said, I felt it. And of course, like many, not to be a hypocrite, but I was like, God, why'd you do this? Why? And I stayed that way for a little bit, thinking of God, took it away for whatever reasons. And then, I got past that thought. But the one thing I couldn't stop doing was living in yesterday. And thinking, I had it so good. I had money. My bills were paid constantly. I was buying more. I was buying 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars. I'm going to trade them in and buy better cars. Nice house, beautiful furniture. Had it all. Tons of money in the bank. And I just kept on thinking about that. You had it so good, Jimmy. You had it so good. I was obsessed with thinking about it. I just wouldn't stop living in yesterday's world. And I couldn't figure out, why can't I get past this? Why can't I grow? Why can't my business start to grow and get back to where it was? Why? It's been 6 months. It's been a year. It's been a year and a half. Why is it not growing? Why can't I get it to where it used to be? And bam, it hit me. I said, can't get there, and it's not going to grow because you are stuck in yesterday. You put more thought, more of your mind power on what you had, on yesterday. Had this happen, I had it so good. All the negativity that was stuck in my head, and I realized, stop thinking about yesterday. There's nothing you can do to make yesterday come back. It's done. It's over. You have to start thinking about tomorrow. You have to start reprogramming your brain to think about the goals you had when you were doing really good. Because when you do good, you feel good. And you got these great ideas. You got these goals that are just so amazing. And you can't wait to achieve them and go at it. Be like, I'm gonna do it. I got this. I'm gonna do it. And you do. You might, 1 or 2 may not happen, but because you're doing so good and you feel so positive, they don't bother you. But when you're not doing good and you're not feeling so good, and you say, all right, I'm gonna try. I'll focus on this goal. and it doesn't happen. Boom, you collapse again. Because negativity's got the best of your brain. It's got the best of all your thoughts. You're not really thinking positive until you realize, I'm stuck in yesterday. I'm stuck thinking negative. I'm not thinking positive. Listen, nobody on the face of the earth, I don't care who they are, I don't care the most famous motivational speakers, I don't care who you talk about, the richest people in the world, nobody thinks totally positive 24/7. Because we're human beings. It's just normal to have negative thoughts come in. But you always have to keep yourself in check. You got to keep thinking about what you're thinking. And say, how am I thinking right now? How am I feeling? Honestly, like what I normally do, I kind of check myself a few times throughout the day. I wake up in the morning, guess what's one of the first things? After I say my prayers and, do things like that, and get my cup of coffee, because I can't function without a cup of coffee. As I'm sitting thinking, drinking my coffee, I think about, check yourself. I may not say check yourself, but mentally I check myself and say, how am I feeling? Actually, I feel pretty good. I've been thinking more on the positive side when I woke up this morning. And then I'll do it maybe later on in the day, maybe 2-3 hours later. I kind of give myself a little checkup, a little mental checkup. How you feeling? Not feeling so good. Why? Sounds crazy, but you got to talk to yourself. You don't really want to walk around talking to yourself. Because people are like, oh, look at this one. But mentally, we can talk to ourselves. And I'll say, how you feeling? Not so good. What's going on? And whatever it may be. I say, I'm caught up in a negative, way of thinking. I've been thinking negative for the past hour. I'm kind of like reflecting back on negative things. And I'll say, stop. Reverse it. Think positive. I say, okay, what can I think about? What's positive? Let's start off with you're alive. You're driving. You're out walking. You're out talking. You're breathing air. I mean, it sounds crazy, but they're like so many things that are so positive. The basics in life are positive. And, I'll kind of do that. And I'll get myself back online. And boom, I start thinking positive again. And, it's like I really have noticed, like, once I realized I was living in yesterday, I look back and I keep a journal of my feelings and things that I go through. And I look back and I say, you have a whole different way of thinking than you did a year ago when you were still stuck in, why'd this happen to me? I don't have what I used to have. I don't. I'm not there yet. But I will be there. And I realized that, all right, money is really important. But in all reality, it's not everything. Of course we need money to live. You can't really be completely happy if you don't have money to pay your bills and a few dollars to go out and enjoy yourself a little bit. We need that. It's just reality. It's the way it is. But I did realize that, okay, you got money, you're paying your bills, you're coming back up, you got a few dollars to go out and do something, buy something, but I know there's other things we need in this world. The goals don't always have to be about making money. Hey, listen, some people, that's their only goal, and God bless them. If they're positive and that's what makes them feel good, and they just want to keep, making more and more money and become more and more, financially rich, whatever you want to call it, That's fine. But a lot of people have other goals. I'm a drummer. I love playing the drums. It's my sanity. I'm playing for a lot of years. I don't give myself a lot of credit. I'm always my, worst critic. I'm always knocking myself down. But it's my personality, because that's what helps me get better. But it's something that I love. And I'm at an age, I'm not going to have a goal or a dream of being in a, rock band and being famous and all that. But, I have different goals. Wherever it takes me playing drums and I enjoy it, whether it's just a group of people hanging out, jamming, enjoying the night, or wherever it is. But my goal is to always do it. Always try to become better at what I'm doing. Always try to, get to that next level. There's so many things to learn about drums. It's crazy. It's just so many different things to learn. All different styles of music, all different types of, coordination, whatever. There's a lot involved. So even if it's not being on a stage and jamming in front of people, it's my personal goals that I want to be able to record myself and watch it and say, that sounded pretty damn good. I got it. Knock that goal out. Move on to my next one. Whatever it may be, you can't stop having goals. You have to have goals. You have to just push yourself when you're feeling down, defeated, negative, and you got to pick yourself up and you got to think, what's a goal I want? I can't tell you start off with some huge goal that is going to take forever to get to. Well, not forever, because honestly, a huge goal shouldn't take forever. It's just going to take a good amount of time to get there. But I wouldn't say start off with something that big. Yeah, you can have that on the back burner, and that's your ultimate goal. But start off with small goals. Start off with small things. When I was defeated and I felt negative and I was suffering depression because of it, my small goal was from 1 hour to the next to feel better. I would say, stop thinking about yesterday. And I get myself psyched and I listen to motivational speakers and I start feeling, I feel good. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I started feeling really good about it. And after an hour or so, I fell off. Started going back negative again. So my small goals were, all right, listen, you're just not going to totally knock out, feeling negative. You're going to have, it's going to take time. So you got to make small goals. And I said, you know what? My goal is to get a whole day of feeling positive and having the negativity not happen that day. And after I got a day of that, by the end of that day, before bedtime, I would, check myself and check what happened that day. I said, you know what? Overall, you were really positive today. You did good. It was a good day. And I took that one day and I said, let me try 2 days. And I took those 2 days. I said, let me try a week. I took that week and I said, let me try a month. And trust me, we all know you're going to have those negative feelings. But overall, I got a day. I got 2 days. I got a week. And it started coming natural, just like any goal we accomplish. It becomes natural. But you can't stop planning goals. You can't stop working at them. Depression is a horrible thing. It's something that lives in your brain. It's something that's there. It's a disease that literally is in our brain. And it's so crazy because it's such a powerful feeling, depression. You can't really get yourself to feel good just by saying, I should feel good. That ain't gonna work. It's not going to work. It's going to take you really recognizing that you're depressed. Maybe you suffered depression. Maybe you're just going through a period of time that something happened, that you're depressed. But it's going to take a lot more than just saying, just feel good. You got to work at it. You got to take steps. You got to notice, like, I've been depressed. All I do is just lay in bed. I don't even want to get up. I just want to lay and just mosey around, be depressed. Not that I want to be depressed, but I am depressed. And you got to realize that just saying feel better is not going to work. You got to put the work in. You got to say, I'm depressed. And sitting in this house is not working. Sleeping all day is not working. I'm just going deeper and deeper and deeper into depression. And really, you have to wake up. And you got to force yourself to get up and get outside. Get around a few people. Go to the gym. Chit chat with a couple of people. Even if you don't talk to anyone. Just being out and your mind not thinking of the depression will help. Just being out in the gym, working out. Working out is a phenomenal thing. It's not only physical, it works mental as well. It just puts you, it ain't a time I haven't walked in the gym. I didn't feel so good. I walked out a different person. I totally forgot about what I was thinking about when I walked in. Walked out, feel, man, great workout, feel good. Whatever you're thinking, But you have to get out. Get out and get around people. See your family, see your friends, see people that make you feel good. Listen, if there's someone out there who makes you don't feel good when you feel good, definitely don't go around them when you're feeling depressed. It just doesn't mix. It's not how it works. Get around people that make you feel good. Get out there. Do things that make you feel good. Even if you don't want to do it, you're sitting there and you're saying, I don't want to go out. I don't want to go to the beach. I feel too depressed. I don't want to do it. But when you force yourself and you go, something happens. You feel better. You might feel a lot better. Or you might just feel a little better. But at the end of the day, a little better is way better than what you were feeling before you went. Being depressed, being sad, thinking negative, stuck in that rut. You have to be able to pick yourself up and get to a better place. If you had something and you lost it, you gotta forget about it. It's yesterday. I don't care if it was someone you love so much, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a wife, a husband. You can't help. You have to mourn those things. You have to mourn people you really loved and they're not in your life no more. You can't just say, forget about it. 1, 2, 3. It's not reality. You have to mourn it. But you have to realize mourning shouldn't be a real long period of time. You allow it a certain amount of time. Everyone mourns differently. And it takes, each person a little bit of a different amount of time to mourn. Some people can mourn people they lose in a day or two. I'm not that type of person. It takes me a while. If it's a relationship, a marriage that ended, it takes time. You gotta mourn it. You gotta get, work through all those feelings. It may take a few months, but as you're mourning it, you also gotta keep putting in positivity. But you have to get yourself to a place where you feel better. You have to recognize, where is your mindset? What is going on? Are you thinking about that too much? And then after a period of time when I mourn that, this is not mourning no more. This is obsessing over my past. You have to realize you're obsessing and you have to let it go. No matter what it is, if it's a relationship, a job, friendship, whatever it is, if it's something that just bothers you and you can't stop thinking about it, or you just keep thinking about what it was when you did have it and how you felt better, you have to just stop, because you can't change it. It's done. Yeah, there's relationships, people, they get back together. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But you gotta know when it's done, and just walk away and start looking at a better tomorrow. You gotta start looking at and thinking of your goals. And you gotta remember that when you're feeling that negative, I personally believe it's the devil just trying to make me, when you have no reason to not feel good, when you didn't lose a relationship, a loved one, job, whatever it may be, and life is going okay, but you're stuck with a negative way of thinking, I believe it's Satan. I believe he just wants us to be miserable. God gives us everything we need to feel happy. We have to recognize it. You walk in the door after a day of work, you got to recognize that you got a roof over your head. There are people in this world that don't have that. You got to recognize that you're able to walk. You're able to talk. And those are all the gifts that God gives us, and so many more. There's tons and tons that God gives us. Friends, family, whatever it may be. Our health, happiness, whatever it is. So honestly, when it gets to a point you really don't have a reason to feel down, negative, angry, judgmental, you got to catch yourself and say, you know what, God, help me get out of this way of thinking, and just pull yourself forward.